Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Dogman Across the United States is today's title for today's upload. Now it's about 5 to 6 great encounters with Dogman throughout the United States. Before I get into these encounters, just a couple links I'd like to share. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merch to help this channel to continue to grow and go. Those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fanfiction, and scary voice acting. That link is in the description below as well. And I just started a GoFundMe page to help raise some money for some cameras and equipment to do some ghost hunting, cryptid hunting, and urbex videos. Now, I just bought an SLS camera, and if you guys are familiar with Ghost Adventures, that's the stick figure camera that they use. And I'm trying to raise some money for a full spectrum cam, some trail cams, and some walkie-talkies. That link is in the description below as well. And with that, guys, I've taken enough of your time. Let's get on with these encounters, shall we? Today's first encounter comes to us from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. A husband described the figure as about 4 feet tall, sitting with bent legs out in front of it, wolf-like face, large pointed ears. Doesn't remember an eye shine, leaning back on human-like arms. The wife says her husband immediately felt endangered and floored his vehicle. That's when she glanced out the driver's window and saw the most horrible face. Her first thought was werewolf. She described it as being black and gray in color with large teeth. She said she didn't look again, but could hear it running next to the car until they reached 45 to 50 miles an hour. Our next encounter comes to us from New Jersey. A hunter spots a dogman. Suddenly, he spotted something strange as they neared a pond. There were 2 figures, one lying on the ground and the other crouching over it. As he watched, the crouched figure rose onto its hind feet. He quickly pegged the prone figure as a dead deer, but squinted at the now upright beast to identify it. He quickly ruled out another deer or a bear. Its large head featured tall, pointed ears and a long muzzle. He described its torso and upper legs as densely muscular with a thin waist. I was an avid bodybuilder for years, he said. The creature's physique resembled a roid rat, as we called them. Today's third Dogman encounter comes to us from parts unknown America. Its large, funny-looking muzzle filled with protruding teeth, its bright and glowing red eyes, and the strange way it loped along with me told me quickly it wasn't a human dressed up to play some kind of trick on me or another passerby. The moon really gave me quite a superb look at this thing, especially since it seemed to be chasing alongside my car for a better part of a mile. Then the whole situation took on a frightening new undertone when I noticed that my strange creature was not alone. There were 3 of them, and worse than that, they seemed to have some kind of idea of cutting my car off. There was a creature identical to the one right outside my window who was trying to get ahead of me. It darted out of the shadows on a diagonal angle and made a beeline for the road before my car. I quickly excelled and left those creatures in the dust. Today's fourth encounter, parts unknown, America. At 1:15 p.m., we saw a black figure moving through the woods. It was, I would say, given the distance, 6 feet tall. The creature's face was elongated, like that of a wolf, but it was humanoid in appearance. It ran like a human. It moved faster than I can at top speed. Whatever it was stopped and looked around as if it knew we were there. The creature took off shortly after. None of us wanted to move right away in case it came back, but we decided to leave. Since that day, we've only told a handful of people what had happened, and my friends wished to remain unnamed, so I will honor their wish. Now comes what I believe this creature to be. Given the stated details, I would say in all truthfulness that this creature that we saw, and that possibly saw us, was none other than a werewolf or dogman. I would never have believed this if I didn't see it with my own eyes. Today's 5th dogman encounter comes to us from somewhere inside the great state of Texas. After a frozen moment of the scariest face I have ever seen in the lights, a thud in real time brought us back to our senses, and we pulled over. Still writhing in pain in the middle of the road, what had been eating a big pile of guts looked like a giant wolf that had queer human-like features. It had to have been 6 to 7 feet long at least, but no one was getting close, as terror and fear of a violent death kept us at bay. Another truck sped by and finished it off, but sped off. We did examine it as close as we dared, a few feet away, and it was still human-like, mostly. Then we decided that it looked more like a huge wolf, human-like creature. Today's 6th and final dogman encounter. Parts unknown, America. As we stood there, we heard large footsteps break the gravel on the path. It was too big to be a bobcat or something, and the sounds we all heard weren't similar to a feline's at all. We thought a wolf, but still, it was too oddly shaped. It continued to move about closer to us, but not like it was going to attack us, or maybe it was, who knows. Our eyes adapted to the dark a little better. I almost took a step forward, but the creature's sudden movement halted me. It had been startled, and it stood up on its hind legs, very fluidy, not shaky like a dog. It looked to be stretching, but it growled while doing so. The sounds were also very strange. They were very deep and almost eerie. The light of a passing car from the road over the path's hill occasionally showed us that what this thing was. It was jet black and rather large, maybe 8 feet tall. It wasn't chubby by any sense, but other than that, I couldn't tell anything. 6 brief dogman encounters in the United States of America. Just doesn't get any better than that, guys. I know that we're having another snowstorm in upstate New York. It looks to be a rather small one, but it's still cold, and I think I'm just going to hang out in the studio all day and put some encounters together for you guys for the rest of the week. Now, hopefully, I'll be able to get an encounter to you guys most of the days this week, but my kids have that winter recess break right now, and oh, goodness, I gotta keep them busy, or they're gonna drive me absolutely nuts at night. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed these, and I want to bid you farewell and thank you for all of your support, everybody.